gonna be LS stuff. Lots of LS stuff. And turbo stuff. Turbo LS stuff. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, today we're going to be going over what we've been doing the past month with our vehicles, especially this over the past few nights, because if you are friends with me on Facebook, you can see we got this running, which we're going to show you guys that clip in a minute. But kind of just want to go over what we are all about here. So if you're into LS stuff and you're into spending not a lot of money, this is probably the perfect channel for you, because we want to do this with this much money. Everything about these cars, the LS, the turbo, like everything we do on a budget for super cheap. If you have watched my previous videos with the S10, you would be extremely surprised how much money is actually in that truck. And the same with this. Like, yeah, I've had this for a while, and over the years, if I added everything up that I bought for it, it might add up to probably around $6,000, which isn't a lot of money still yet, but with the setup that I currently have on it, if you broke it down, you'd be shocked on how much money's really in it. So we're gonna jump into this first and tell you guys what we've done over the past couple nights and what the setup is on the car as of now. Okay, so this is my 87 Camaro that I did a Gen 3 5.3 swap in. Last year, year before, it was just a stock 5.3, 700 R4 trans, had a small converter in it, stock rear end, open diff and everything. I just wanted to basically get it on the road driving with everything working. What I did, I used the stock harness, got rid of a lot of stuff I didn't use, has the stock computer, and used HP tuners to tune it. So at the end of last year, actually just before the cruise, I decided to go turbo, and I wanted to do a turbo setup as cheap and thrown together as possible. So of course I went with the GT45, which is, this one's 160 bucks on eBay all day. As you can see, I made the hot side myself. Did that in a day, and I didn't even put a V-band on here, but the way it's set up, it's really easy to take apart. This pipe comes right off, that's one piece, and that whole setup is one piece with the turbo. So it's very easy to take apart and put back together, which is what I wanted. I haven't gotten in trouble yet with the cops for having this, and I don't think I will, because it's really not that loud with the turbo, unless you're getting into it. So the 704 last year lasted about 2 weeks. I got this done the weekend before the Woodward cruise, and I drove this out there every single day. Had zero problems. And then the week after, I started getting into it, and my trans started slipping, and it was just, I expected it though. The 704 is not gonna hold up to something like this, especially just kind of a basic stock 704. So what I did is, I bought a built Turbo 350, put that in a few nights ago. It has a PTC 3000 stall in it. I swapped out the rear end for a 342 posi. It has rear disc now, which is actually something I need to buy. I need to buy just calipers, rotors, and pads for it. But I mean, everything else is just kind of pieced together. Like the intercooler I bought for cheap, separate. I bought a universal cold side, an innovative wideband, which is real cheap, and like a cheap wastegate, cheap blow-off valve, but it works. So the car, I have no idea how much power the car makes, but it feels good, and I'm really anxious to try it out on the street with the new trans, new converter, and new rear end. It should be a different animal. Inside is just thrown together as well. It's gutted. I do have a bunch of gauges, but they're kind of all over the place right now until I make a panel for them. One thing I did forget to mention, the fuel system. So I'm using the stock rail, the stock regulator, and I have 3/8 feed line, 5/16 return, and I'm running a AEM 380 inline fuel pump. I put a sump on the gas tank, the factory gas tank, and yeah, it works good. I don't have any problem with fuel. I do have Deca 80s in there right now. But yeah, fuel-wise, it's good. It is on 93 right now. I would like to switch to 85 this year, but we'll see. I really don't need to switch right now. Like, I'm having, the way the car is set up, it's fun, and I still haven't even tried out, obviously, the new Ram, the new trans, to see what difference that makes in the car. The car obviously is not very heavy. It's probably right around 3,000 pounds, maybe. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this. There's probably, realistically right now, 4,000 to 5,000 in the entire car as of right now. But it's still, I still feel like it's really cheap, just because I've gone through a couple transmissions. I've gone through, like, I have a good torque arm, I have a good rear sway bar, which honestly, the money that was spent on this was a UMI cross member, a BMR torque arm, you know, stuff like that. That's where the money was in. But even like these wheels are cheap. These wheels were like 90 bucks a piece, brand new. But yeah, nothing crazy, just your basic thrown together Turbo LS. So I do have a video of it. We started it up yesterday, so we're gonna show that to you right now. All right, y'all, it's time. That knocking is not me, that's Skylar, by the way. Skylar! I thought the motor was knocking when you were banging. So now I want to catch you guys up to speed on the truck. Now I know a lot of you guys that's seen the videos, you already know the setup on it. But for those that are new, I have a 99 S10 I bought. I bought it for $1,000 a couple years ago. I had a 2.2 in it, just stock truck. And I ended up taking that out. I bought a Silverado that was 5.3, two-wheel drive, had 4L60 in it. And I bought that truck for like 600 bucks and drove it home. Ripped the drivetrain out of that and put it in the S10. Got it running. The 4L60 did not have third and fourth gear though, so that kind of sucked. But after we got the trans out, I ended up buying another 4L60, but an older one, like a 90s, like mid 90s. And I had a 2800 stall laying on the shelf for that. So I have 4L60 with the 2800 stall, just a Summit Racing one, and stock 5.3. Right now it's got headers and cherry bombs on it. Sorry, but it quieted down quite a bit. The cherry bombs did, because it was loud off open headers. But that's running, that's driving, and that really wasn't a big job to do. Especially that you can take the whole front end off that truck. It's a frame vehicle. It's easy to swap. But that truck has like not a lot of money into it, and it has a stock drive shaft that worked, stock rear end. That truck came with 373s in the rear, but an open diff. So it'd be nice if it had posi, because I feel like the rear gear in that truck, with the setup, it moves pretty good. That truck weighs what, 2,800 pounds maybe. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that. We did little stuff to it here and there, like put a trans cooler and stuff on, just stuff that really doesn't make too much of a difference. But we cleaned it up pretty good and got the wires cleaned up, all that. I'm using a V6 radiator out of one of those trucks. That works just fine. The truck never sees over 205. So But yeah, so for those of you that are new, that's the setup on that, and we'll post a couple clips up on it so you can get up to speed on that truck as well. Okay, I'll buy that. All right, guys, so again, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is kind of what we do here. We want this for this much money. Yeah, we could take our time, we could get a really nice car, we could throw a bunch of money at it and have a really nice machine, but at the end of the day, I'd rather spend my money on more vehicles and do more projects than have just one really nice project. That's just the way we do things around here. Because that way, like even with my Silverado, we're throwing a turbo on that, and if you didn't see on Facebook, I already started buying parts for it. And I've got a lot of the stuff already, and I have less than $300 into it so far. The biggest things I need to buy still is the turbo and the fuel pump. So the turbo, 160 bucks, and the fuel pump is gonna cost like 110. You can get Walbro 450s for like 110 bucks off eBay any day of the week. So that's where we're at with that. But again, even if you add all these vehicles up, add this one, add the S10, and add the Silverado up, you're still not gonna have that much money into them. And I'd rather have a bunch of vehicles that we can just get in, do burnouts in, and go break them and not worry about it than have something really nice. So hopefully you guys enjoy the upcoming videos, because now that this is ready to rip, we're gonna have tons of footage of this. And the S10 is roadworthy now, so I'm sure Skylar will be hopping in that, I'll be hopping in this, and we'll just be doing some hits and going cruising, having a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and thank you guys for watching.